Hello, I'm Debs. This is Debs Made This. Welcome. Today I have for you a pattern review. So the pattern I'm going to review for you today is the Eve Dress by Stokx Patterns. And I need to preface this by saying I was given this pattern for free. All the opinions I express are my own and the pictures that I provided were not required. It was just a request by the designer, Lindy, to try and increase the visibility of the pattern, and I was happy to do that, having seen the line drawings. So I had seen a couple of different designs by this designer on Instagram and was just quite interested to have a look and see. The Eve dress they describe as a shirt coat dress. You can make in everything from a silk to a canvas or a denim, and obviously depending what weight of fabric you use, you're going to get a really different look. The pattern comes in sizes 0 to 12, so they're stock sizes. On the website, it's only actually in centimetres, so I will put up what I've converted, but essentially it's from 31-inch chest to a 59-inch chest, a waist of 25 inches or 65 centimetres up to a waist of 53 inches and a hip of 60.2 inches. On the website is given a vast array of garment measurements, and Lindy says she does this because people like different amount of ease. The ease on the pattern is about kind of 8 centimeters, so kind of 2 to 3 inches at chest and waist, and then more at the hip, because you can see it's kind of fitted and then flares out. So it comes as PDF only. There's some helpful information on the website and a YouTube video to show you how to download it. The PDFs have got a checked pattern behind to help you to match them really well. You trim off a lot less though on the outside than I'm used to doing. Remember being slightly confused as to whether I printed it out right in the first instance, but it all came together beautifully. There are several options available on this design. So you can have a stand-up collar like this one, or a shirt collar like this one. You can have a plain front placket or a shirt front placket. You can have a shirt sleeve, or this is called the reach sleeve. There is also available to purchase separately a 2-piece sleeve, which you might want to use if you were going to use like a coating or something and do this as a coat in a velvet or a cord or a wool or something. You might want to use a 2-piece sleeve just to get a kind of a better look for that kind of style of garment. So you can see that these really big pockets, and then there's this side panel here which comes into a gusset, and obviously because I've colour blocked it, you can see it beautifully. If we come round to the back, you can see there's a panel here which is top stitched, and a yoke here which comes to the forward part of the chest. This part here, this panel, is cut on the bias, which obviously makes it feel much nicer to wear than quite oftentimes if I get pulling, because I swim a lot. I've got quite well-developed back muscles, so actually I often end up having to do a broad back adjustment. So, but I don't have to do that on this, which is really nice. Then there's a panel here, and then there's sections in the back at the back, surprisingly. So I had not planned to try and pattern match this because I thought it's a big print. I haven't got very much fabric to spare. I'm not going to manage. And so what I've managed to do is to just not quite pattern match, which is driving me slightly nuts. I think it'll be right. The only bit that I really notice it on is here. I think the rest of it is not so bad. And because the pockets are here, anyway, there's only me and you know that now. So my one. So this is made with an art gallery cotton fabric called Duval. It's the boho birds in the Duval range, and then the coordinating solid, well, it's not really a solid, it's got a pattern on it, but you know what I mean, the coordinating version, although they're not actually quite the same colour, which I was slightly disappointed in. This had ended up being quite an expensive make. So this was a wide back cotton, so it's like 230 wide or something, and I had 1.5 meters of it, but I reckoned in total it probably cost about £40, £44 to make, just because it takes quite a lot of material. I have made this at the standard length, and I think she drafts, do you know, I've forgotten, I'll put it down here, I think it's 170 centimetres she drafts for, and I'm 166. So I've made this its full length at the moment and hemmed it at that, but I'll probably end up making it shorter at some point. The only amendments I made, I didn't have to alter the sleeve. So if you have a normal knot length monkey arms, you will probably have to shorten the sleeves, I would think. And the only adjustment I made was to shorten it at the length and shorten lines on all of the pattern pieces at the waist, which is an adjustment that I nearly always have to make. I didn't make it on the shirt that I'm wearing, and I'll put a picture in, but you can see it's slightly too long in the body. I tried for quite a long time to get matching buttons in a tealy colour, and I tried 3 or 4 different teals, and I can't get the colour the right colour. And I kept coming back to these little kind of tanny coloured ones, and I really liked how they contrasted. I do have a pair of boots that colour, so that's perhaps what I was thinking of. But yes, I'm quite pleased with how those turned out. The collar, I did the shirt collar, and the really nice thing about this is, as I said in my when I talked about the shirt, I'll try and link that video up the way, but the collar band kind of wraps, I'll show you on this one without bashing my mic, wraps right the way around to here. So this is front collar coming right the way around to here, and then the back collar, inside collar, starts there. So it means at that corner you have so much less bulk than you normally do. Normally you have all those kind of intersections of fabric and it all gets tatty, and then trying to do your buttonhole is really tricky. But yes, no, not an issue. I really like that. And the collar, instead of having a seam at the edge, it's just in one part and you fold it over. So it's quite cool. Quite like it. Part of the video will be me styling this up, but essentially I really like this. I really love this reach sleeve. It's phenomenal how much range, well, you can see in the shirt that I'm wearing, the range of movement that you get is really good, and it's because the sleeve fits very well. This reach sleeve has got like a really kind of tall, I can't remember what that's called, you know what I mean though, so I'm drawing beautifully for you what I mean. So that inserts really well into the sleeve head, and it means you've got like a massive range of movement, which is really nice. It's finished nicely inside. I think that's it. I think that's all there is to say. So my plan is, obviously I've made the shirt, which was just me doing a twat. Sorry, me fiddling with this. I'm still doing, I'll finish and then I'll say this. I'm still doing my word of the year in today's texture, hence me in, I've got a leather skirt, I've got leather boots on, wool tights, my new mohair vest, and this cotton sateen, and then my little scarf around the top. So the idea is that you kind of you experiment with different things to go with your word of the year. So yes, that's what I've been doing. So when I'm fidgeting a bit, that's why I'm sorry. So the plan is to make another one of these in probably that cotton velvet, but I haven't quite decided. I'd also quite like to do one with the 2-part sleeve in the corduroy and have it as a coat as well, but we will see. So Lindy is a pattern designer who has a shop called Stokx Patterns in Berlin, and has had since I think 2006. She's been in the garment industry for about 30 years and has a shop. The shop actually sells garments, so these patterns are already made into garments that are sold. And she obviously has some expertise when it comes to bodies and designing kind of for functional wearing. On her website, she's got lots of kind of really interesting, I mean, you can tell that she's kind of just got an eye for lines and style. And although they're not all my style at all, there's a pair of trousers that look really nice. And there's also a wrap skirt, which I thought looked really good shape. So there's another dress called the Evelyn dress, which has got like a kind of a V-neck, a clean finish at the front. And essentially you just need like 2 or 3 pattern pieces to be different. I think it's just these tall pieces at the front that are different, and so you can just buy those pieces for like a fairly small amount of money, and then all the rest of the pattern is the same. So I really like that as an idea as well. She's done a thing where you can purchase like the placket or the for no money, or do you know what I mean? It's just a kind of a quite an organic way that things have grown. And she said there's like a whole family of patterns. So there's a top pattern in this design. There's the Evelyn dress, which is kind of a derivation. There's this dress, and then there's one made up in like a dark denim with white top stitching on the website, which is really nice as well. It looks really lovely. So yes, there you go. So I heartily recommend this. I didn't have any problems apart from the English thing of working in inches rather than centimetres, so I only had to convert that, which is not like a massive deal, is it? And a slightly, as I say, a slightly unusual approach to kind of the garment versus the body measurement. But I think once you kind of get what pattern what size you are in their patterns, then you kind of know what you're doing. I think I made a size 3, and I didn't make any adjustments other than the kind of the grading up and down, and you'll see how this fits on me in the second part of this video. So if I've missed anything out, just ask me down below, please. I'm sure I probably will have done, because it's been a fairly long day, but I really wanted to get this recorded and up, so I can start wearing it. Okay, right, I shall pass you on to forward me.
So the first one I've styled the Stokx Eve is as a topper over my leather skirt and vest with ankle boots and tights. The colours all work really well together, and I'm quite pleased with how that looks. I've tried to turn so that you can see the fit of this over the back, and you can see the range of movement of that each sleeve fairly clearly. The second way I've worn it is done up as a shirt dress originally with flat knee-high boots in a kind of tan suede colour, and then in the second pictures you can see I've transferred across to a heel. I hope you can see. And I think this just demonstrates that you can kind of transition from a fairly casual look to a fairly smart look. So I hope that's been helpful. I just thought I'd better pop on and say bye-bye. Thanks very much for watching. Let me know what you think. You inspired to make one? Do you think it looks dreadful? There are obviously, tweaks and adjustments, so shout if you can see some of those as well. I think looking back at the pictures, I can see some changes that I might make across the back. It kind of depends though, doesn't it? If you want to keep wearing something like in both ways, you've got to leave enough room to put clothes underneath it, but equally so, I kind of want it to fit well. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I know it's something a little bit more in depth for me to do, and I hope you can like and subscribe and do all that good stuff. And I just wanted to say bye-bye for now, and thank you for watching, and I hope you have had a good week doing wonderful things that make you feel happy. And if you haven't had a good week, I'm sorry, and I hope that the next few days are feeling better for you. And I shall say good night and God bless, and take care of yourselves. Bye just now.